know that the lighting ain't but we're doing what we can.
You dig?
Hey y'all, it's Kendall, aka Kendollars, and welcome back to the mother channel. I kind of felt that it was a little bit overdue that we had a sit down video, had a little heart to heart. I've been doing a lot of shopping videos for my brand Rags to Racks, but I wanted to kind of dial it back a bit and just come on camera today, kiki with you guys and catch up, talk a little bit about what I've been up to in life. I really do want to pivot my channel and be more open with everybody and a lot more transparent about where I'm at with my life and a lot of the things that I've been through that led me to where I am now. I always feel so overwhelmed trying to figure out like where to start with my life because y'all, so much has happened. I am 24 years old and in the span of the last 24 years
has gone down
and it's just hard to know where to start. I just took a step back and realized that starting with today, like where I'm at now, is the perfect place to start. As a Gemini, I'm always growing and ever changing and evolving, like that's just in my nature, but I feel like especially in 2020 I have evolved so much into the woman that I am now that I wouldn't even recognize the person that I was before Corona, before COVID, before quarantine, because I really do feel like I've undergone a serious awakening. I feel like I'm a lot more in tune with myself, in tune with the world, and I feel like I've gained a lot of insight just having a moment to pause and really kind of pinpoint what matters to me. It's been an amazing experience and time for growth for me. I've gone through so much damn shit in my life. There's nothing that you can tell me that will shock or surprise me. I'm not one to judge because I'm completely imperfect, y'all. It's easy to show one side of you and kind of curate how people perceive you through social media. I just wanted to get on here today and speak on the importance of not explaining yourself, not trying to prove yourself, and not trying to convince people of the person you are, especially when they already have a preconceived notion of the person you are and they've already made up their mind about you. I love expressing myself, but sometimes it comes at my own expense and I catch myself over explaining myself to people who don't even deserve the time of day, and I feel like a lot of us can relate to this. I used to be the type of girl who would literally change the person I was to fit the expectations of whoever I was dealing with. I would paint a picture in my head of what these men wanted me to be and I would try to embody that instead of just being true to my authentic self. And honestly, it ended up coming back and biting me in the ass so many times. Trying to hold yourself to this standard and keep up to the facade that you're trying to sell, it's very exhausting and draining. Recently, I've been coming into my own worth. I know what I want out of a partner. I know what I expect out of friends. I realized that it's okay holding the people around you to a higher standard because you are the people you associate with. I could literally go on all day about the power of energy and how the people who you surround yourself with define the person that you are. I was born and raised in Vancouver, British Columbia. When I was 20 years old, I relocated and I lived in Toronto and I lived there for the past 4 years. So I pretty much grew up and came into my own in Toronto. I definitely want to make a video about that in the future and like my experience in Toronto and open up a little bit more about that. Vancouver and Toronto are two very different places, and to be able to exist in both worlds, you definitely have to be somebody who is very adaptable. So over the past few years, the most important lesson that I have learned is to not water yourself down or try to change yourself to impress other people, to make other people feel comfortable, because at the end of the day, if you're not challenging people with your existence, you're not helping people grow. If you're hanging around people who don't challenge you, there's no growth in that situation, and you really need to reassess the people that you're surrounding yourself with, the people that you're around. I realized that I was trying to cater to the people around me instead of living in my essence and my truth, and that was the greatest disservice I ever did to myself. A lot of people had me chopped up based on what they see online. I do have to take responsibility for the part I play in that, because I spoon feed these people the facade. I only share the highlight reels of my life. I don't show you guys what it took to get to the place that I am today. I had to experience things on my own time. People told me time and time again that not everything is what meets the eye, but I really did have to learn that the hard way. In today's video, we're gonna talk about the notion of not dulling yourself down, not dulling your sparkle, not explaining yourself to people who don't deserve it, not trying to prove people wrong, and not trying to prove yourself.
Okay.
What we're not doing in 2021 is trying to prove ourselves to people. If you know so much about me, if you already got me chopped up to what you want me to be, I'm just gonna let you live in that abyss. Psychologically, I build people up, build people up, build people up, put everybody except myself on this pedestal, and I imagine them to be something they're not. And at the end of the day, everyone is only human. One thing that I have realized is that I am a reflection of the way people treat me, and there is nothing wrong with that. If you give me the bare minimum, I'm gonna give you the bare minimum. If you show me that you care, you show me that you're somebody worth trusting, you show me that I am safe being vulnerable with you, then you're gonna get a different side of me. Some people will love me and some people will hate me, and that's just the way it is, because not everyone is getting the same version of me. I'm not the kind of person who's gonna touch a hot stove and then touch it again knowing damn well that I'm gonna get burnt. Doing the same things over and over and over again and expecting different results is literally the definition of insanity. In going forth in relationships with people, I definitely had to apply that to my life, and I know what I want out of a nigga. I know what I want out of a man. I want loyalty, I want time, I want attention. If we're just building something off sexual desire, sexual tension, and we have no foundation, there's no longevity there. There's none.
I'm looking for Mr. Right. I'm not looking for Mr. Right now.
I'm 24 years old. This isn't my first rodeo. In any relationship, the person that you're with is going to meet you where you're at, and you guys are going to grow together. You shouldn't have to change yourself to fit somebody else's expectations and ideals. You shouldn't have to explain yourself over and over again, and if people judge you, let them judge you. You're not supposed to hurt somebody who was sent to be your blessing, and people who don't understand your worth from the gate.
Baby girl, you don't need them in your life.
And it's taken a long time for me to like realize the bullshit, realize the manipulation, the games, realize a narcissist when I see one. A lot of the time, these people are only out here for their own personal gains. They don't see you for what you are, for what you bring to the table.
I am the motherfucking table.
Been the table.
A lot of guys try to project their own insecurity on you. I will never be the type of chick to chase a man. If you don't want me, okay, thank you, next.
Nigga, if you aren't the blessing, you're getting in the way of my blessings.
We spend so much time hung up on the people who aren't about us, who aren't for us, who have nothing to offer us. I hold myself in high regards. I know that I am that bitch. I might not be where I want to be now, but I know what I'm capable of, and I will continue to hold myself to that standard until I get to where I need to be. Letting somebody else treat me like I'm less than, I've done that in the past. My ex-boyfriend, I changed everything about myself to try to be the person I thought he wanted me to be. As my boy Drake once said, there's no mistakes in life, only lessons, and all we can do from past trauma and past situations is grow from that and manifest into the people that we want to be. That all comes in putting yourself first, respecting yourself first. If something doesn't feel right and authentic to you, then it's not right and authentic to you. Any blessing that is for you will never miss you. Any person that is meant to be in your life, they're gonna be in your life regardless of who you are on your best day and who you are on your worst day. They're gonna be there, they're gonna stick by your side, and they're gonna ride for you. There's no space in any of our lives. Like, look at the times we're living in. You don't have any time or space for somebody who doesn't value you, know your worth.
Keep your heels high, but keep your standards higher.
Having standards will keep you from being hurt in the end. At the end of the day, these guys will try you, test you, take you home, see what you're willing to do for them. You don't owe these niggas nothing. You don't owe them an explanation. You don't owe them your body. You don't owe them a rhyme or a goddamn reason. And you should never have to change yourself to make somebody else happy, whether that's in a relationship, in a friendship, in a job. Just knowing your worth and holding yourself in high regards, holding yourself to a high standard. People don't know how to treat you off the bat. Sometimes you do have to teach people how to treat you, and that's just what I've learned in life. A lot of people think that they can get away with the same shit that they got away with Sally and Sarah. With me, I'm here to let people know that that shit ain't gonna fly. A lot of people are gonna tell me that I'm not feminine, that they're scared of me, that they're intimidated of me, that I'm too much, I'm too straightforward. My standards are here, and if you can't rise to the occasion, that's on you. That ain't on me, baby boy. I'm tired of trying to like convince people of the person that I am. A lot of people judge me based on what they see on social media. They have this whole picture painted of me that's nothing to do with who I am. I'm living my truth. I'm happy, I'm healthy, and I'm honoring myself, and anyone who isn't okay with that wasn't meant for me. Anyone who isn't okay with your standards isn't meant to be in your life, and you should never have to explain yourself to anybody. I just want us as women to stand in our power, stand in our truths, and not lower our standards. Any guy who values you is not going to question your morals. Any guy who values you is going to make the time for you regardless of what he's going through. There's no excuse for a guy to tell you that he doesn't have time. Oprah Winfrey only has 24 hours in a day, and she still got Stedman. So don't tell me that you don't have time for me. Don't tell me that you're incapable of making the time for me. Any guy that's meant for me, any guy who values me is gonna make the motherfucking time for me. I'm not trying to convince a nigga that I'm not crazy, because I mirror you. If you want to be crazy, we can be crazy. If you want to be cute, we can be cute. Don't get me out of character. You don't have me out here looking stupid, and we're good. We're straight. Don't try to tell me that I'm crazy because I'm not putting up with your bullshit. I'm not putting up with your lies, and I'm not putting up with your excuses. If a guy's intimidated, I know right then and there it's not the nigga for me, and it's not the nigga for you either. I just want to reiterate, ladies, that you should never, ever, ever dull yourself down. You should never make excuses for the woman that you are. You should never try to prove yourself to anybody, and you don't owe anybody an explanation. Stop explaining yourself. Stop going in circles. If people want to chop you up to be something you're not, you know what? Let them, because anything that's meant for you will never miss you. Anything that you have to force, that ain't for you. Learning that has been one of the greatest things in my life, and I can honestly say that it's brought me so much peace. I just wanted to get on here and kind of just kiki with you guys, let you guys know what's up in my life, and just kind of get on a new level with you. We've been doing fashion, we've been doing business, we've been doing the works, but today I wanted to keep it a buck and let you guys know that you are worthy just as you are. If people can't handle you at your worst,
They show as hell.
don't deserve you at your best. Keep your heels high, keep your standards higher, and I'll see y'all in my next motherfucking video.
Man, it's time for me.